Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries. And the next mission we have available is on Talon, which is the moon, yet again, and it is known as MechWorks Defense. So this is actually the opposite of what we saw in Hesperus 2, where we had to attack a mech factory. This time around, we're defending one. So the mission description says, guard the Callan Industries mech hangars against Steiner-backed forces. Davian forces have committed a lance of assault mechs along with ground and aerospace units to assist in the defense. So let's hear the briefing.
Steiner supporters have been making aggressive moves against Callan Industries on both Talon and Vernkey. The remote proving grounds are sure to be high on their target list. Callan Industries is offering a top-paying defense contract with full salvage. Helping Callan out here will go a long way to putting us further into Prince Victor's camp.
All right, so as we heard in the previous mission description, Davian forces are going to commit a lance of assault mechs as well as other supporting units. That indicates to me that this is going to be some pretty heavy fighting. Now, we do have 2 damage mechs, and I have been playing around with adding in another assault mech into our secondary lance here. So just to look at that really quickly, I was doing a comparison with the Mad Cat. Now, it's been a little while since I've played, and I don't really remember what I did in the last video. I'm hoping that I stripped out the weapons of the Mad Cat after I did the last mission, rather than before it, because it had no weapons in it. So I really hope I didn't send a mech out there without any weapons. But I was doing a little bit of comparison between the Mad Cat and the Awesome. So if we just do that really quickly, now we do have some things installed in this Mad Cat. And really, there's only going to be a difference of 5 tons. That's one thing I will point out here. But I have Beagle Active Probe, Laser Anti-Missile System, Enhanced Optics. These are all things that I'm not going to have on the Awesome, so keep that in mind. So if we switch over here, one thing you'll notice right away that the armor is much heavier. The one advantage of the Awesome, although it is the cheapest assault mech in the game, and it is at the lowest weight that an assault mech can be, and it's only 5 tons heavier than the Mad Cat we saw previously, it does have pretty good armor. Now, it tends to be on the slow side for a heavy mech, and I've actually slowed that down as far as I can, which is the same speed we had with that Mad Cat, so 65 kilometers an hour. I actually wish I could slow this down a little bit more, but unfortunately, that's as slow as it gets. That's as much tonnage as I could get out of slowing it down. And you also note that I don't have any of those special systems either, so in my opinion, we do have a little bit of reduced functionality with this mech. Firepower, I'm not exactly sure if it is much better. If we take a look at the weaponry, the one thing with the Awesome as opposed to the Mad Cat is you don't have as much diversity of firepower or the options to set things up more the way you want. The way that the Awesome is normally set up is it has 3 PPCs, just as we see here, and these are energy slots. If I were to remove one, you'll see energy slot. These other ones are all energy slots. So you really don't have much choice other than to make this a very energy-heavy mech. Now, normally speaking, these would be inner sphere PPCs as opposed to the clan ones that I have currently installed, so that is a little bit of a change. Now, the big difference here is the tonnage. We have 6 tons versus 7 tons. Now, damage-wise, you would think at first that the clan PPC would be better considering the fact that it says 16 damage as opposed to the 12 here, but if you look at the recycle time, that's how long it takes to rearm it, it's actually pretty much the same damage per second, because if you think about it, dividing the damage by 6, which is the recycle time, that's 2 per second, whereas this, again, dividing the damage by the recycle time, that would be 2 per second. So the damage is exactly the same. The other differences are the range, though. The clan ones are longer range, so 1,000 as opposed to 850. And also the inner sphere PVCs are slightly more heat efficient because it's not heat per damage, whereas this is heat per damage. But again, you have to factor in that recycle time. So this is going to be suffering that heat more often than this will be. So normally speaking, Awesomes are not very heat efficient. I put more heat sinks on this thing than it normally would have. I also up-armored it beyond where it would normally be. And we do get a little bit of advantage by the fact that the clan PPCs are lighter. We can slap on more heat sinks and things like that. So the other thing we have to factor in, this would normally not be that great. Even though it is in the green, this would normally not be great. If you were firing these continuously, you would eventually overheat. But because we're going to be on Talon, I don't think it will be as big of a problem. Now, I was comparing this to the Fafnir, what I use, and as much as this bar is in the yellow, And yeah, that's fine. And mine is in the green. If you actually look at the firepower, in my opinion, the Awesome actually has better firepower with its current setup because it has 3 PPCs and only it has a 1 large laser, whereas I have 2 and then 2 large lasers. That's pretty close, but when you think about it, although the large laser has a faster recycle time, it's not half the recycle time, and it does almost half the damage. So I would say that definitely the Awesome should have more damage per second, but when you consider the fact that laser anti-missile systems add into the firepower scale, if I remove that, you see now I'm in the yellow, just like the Awesome is. So because I have this, I actually get added onto the firepower scale. Now, in my opinion, that's really not accurate. This should add into armor, probably, because it defends you. It doesn't actually add any damage potential at all. Also, heat sinks also factor into that firepower scale. So as you add on more and more heat sinks, you'll see that adds into your firepower. Now, that kind of makes sense because that means that you can sustain the firepower longer. We'll point out the Fafnir and Daishi are damaged, so unless I want to buy new mechs, I'm going to have to advance a week here, which I probably will. So in my opinion, as long as the Awesome can keep up its firepower, it is actually having more potential damage per second, even though, again, that bar isn't quite as large. Well, I'm going to try this out, even though it might only be slightly better, if not, maybe not better at all, than the Mad Cat we were using before. We're going to give it a go, and those are the changes I made. Okay, so, oh, I forgot to advance the time. That's one thing I actually wanted to do. So we're going to advance 1 week, because that's all we need to do. And I can afford the per cycle expenses at this point. Now, I did have to buy those clan PPCs, so some of the money in my bank account went to that. But considering I had almost like 75 million C-bills, I think we can afford it. All right, I think we're ready to go, and let us launch. So this is going to be in the day. This is probably going to be a rather intense fight.
Forces are hitting the security outpost northeast of the proving grounds. The defense grid is weakening, and communications have ceased.
Roger. Spectre is moving to assess the situation at Alpha. Let me know if SATCOM picks up any other Steiner movements in the region.
All right, here we go. I can see one right away. Going to be in range of the PPCs. I managed to pop him once. I think he's out of range of the large laser.
Engaging enemy medium lance at nav point Alpha. Not much punch here.
You gotta count for the travel time of the PPCs, which can be tricky on a moving mech. Okay. Let's go ahead and stop as they come after me. Start backing up. Got him. Ooh, whiff shot there. Got him. Yeah, I'm trying to be careful here because there's a lot of friendlies in the area.
Looks like the mediums are breaking off.
Commander, enemy assault lancers moving in from the south. You need to get back to Beta facilities for immediate defense.
Roger. Double time it back to the base, people.
All right, Beta. All right, so that's behind us. Okay, I can just see the facility. Let's go, go, go. I took a little bit of damage there. Nothing too serious, although it is in the torso, which is not ideal. Okay, so we have a little bit of a walk to go here. Yeah, I see a vehicle off in the distance. Those are friendlies. Yeah, considering that we have the base defenses and everything, I figure this is going to be a pretty challenging fight, probably. I think those medium mechs were just the beginning. Probably going to see a little bit more heavy stuff coming soon. There may be repair facilities on the base, but I probably won't get a chance to use them. All right, let's swing around. I want to be able to see... I don't want to be confined within the base in case an attack comes. Although if it comes from Gamma's side, we're going to have to swing around. So this might be the wrong choice, but we'll find out.
Nav point beta reached.
Okay, we've got some walls here. This might be good cover. Ooh. Shut down friendly mechs. Oh, we've got some fire going on.
Confirmed. 2 assault lances. Engaging.
Detected. Enemy detected.
Okay. See if we can pick at these guys from range. So the PPCs will hit them at this range. Okay, Highlander. Ooh. Lost him. Alright, that one's running. Let's focus on ones that are coming at us. Okay, what do we got here? Another Highlander. Okay, this one's getting fairly... Ooh, took big damage there. I'm gonna start backing up here a little bit.
Commander, I've just got word the Callan engineers have brought the Templar prototypes online. I'm patching in the IFF and comm channel.
Okay, that's probably the shutdown
This
mechs.
is Canary. Mind if me and my boys put these omnis through a little live fire testing?
By all means. It's your playground we're defending.
Prototype Lance, we're going for weapons hot. Engage Steiner assault lances.
Target destroyed.
Steiner forces down 1 assault lance.
Oh, there's more.
Assault lance is moving in from the west. Looks like some aerospace fighters training them. You should have visual in 20 seconds.
Another assault lance? This is heavier than I was led to believe.
Okay, I've taken heavy damage to my central torso, so I'm gonna have to be careful here.
Demolishers, heads up. They can ruin your day.
Where? Oh, I see it. I don't have a good shot, though.
Enemy detected.
See if we can get a shot at it, because we don't have to get closer.
Target destroyed.
Down it goes.
Enemy detected.
Okay, another one.
Second assault lance eliminated.
Enemy detected.
Oh, another
Enemy detected.
one.
Enemy detected.
Yeah, this is pretty hectic here. Okay, Mad Cat Mark II is taking damage. Okay, we got fire coming in. Let's look away.
Warning. Damage critical. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
All right, I'm gonna back off here a little bit.
Target destroyed.
Okay, we've got flying enemies coming in. See if we can get an angle on them. They're gonna be passing overhead.
Target destroyed.
All right. Not worry about that.
Target destroyed.
Okay. Another flying
Target
enemy.
Destroyed.
That's
Target
the last of the
destroyed.
assault
Oof.
mechs. Thanks for the hand, Canary. Your team handled themselves nicely.
Thanks yourself. These Templars sure are sweet. But the thought of nothing but a lance of prototypes between us and Steiner would give us the chills.
Didn't see anything wrong with them today.
Nary a hitch, I'd say. Listen, these mechs are cleared for deployable trials. You agree to give weekly performance stats on system integration, and I can have a pair transferred to your command. You game?
Are you kidding? Where do I sign?
That sounds good to me.
Steiner assault forces have been beaten back at every turn here on Talon. With the mech production facilities firmly in Victor's control, things are looking very grim for Archon Katrina.
Okay, so I'm going to have to repair the Fafnir. We do get a lot of assault mechs here, to the point that that awesome that I spent all that time setting up, I think is going to go bye-bye. I'm going to be selling that. All right, well, we also get some large X-pulse lasers. Interesting. Light gauze rifles as well. All right, well, let's go to the mech lab. Let's go ahead and do our repairs. One thing I want to take a look at is the Mad Cat Mark II that just took some damage. Doesn't look like it lost any weapons. The awesome that I just set up, we're going to strip out of weapons just so I remember for the next video. And I think that's going to be it for now. Do we have any other missions on this planet? No, we will be jumping somewhere else. So we'll do that in the next video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.